Now, when most people hear the word Cubism, their minds jump straight to this, right? Picasso, Braque, those iconic fragmented paintings and collages from the early 20th century where reality gets broken into its geometries and reassembled. But imagine using those sharp angles and multiple perspectives for a building. I'm Bonita Rhodes from InsightCities, and today we're standing in front of the house of the Black Madonna, the first Cubist building in the world, named for this Black Madonna and child that were removed from the building once standing in this spot and refastened here. This fancy department store with a cafe above us opened its doors in 1912. Its architect, Josef Gočár, was already established, but he still had to get on his knees and ask the city for permission multiple times because the style was so controversial. Most of Prague's early 20th century buildings were going up around us in historicist or Art Nouveau styles. Gočár's design with its geometries and sharp angles was unlike anything that the city had ever seen. What's more, this lane next to the house is the former coronation route, where the Czech kings and the occasional Austrian emperor who cared enough would begin the procession to have themselves crowned King of Bohemia. The Prague City Council wasn't convinced that this radical design statement made an appropriate neighbor to this historic path. Gočár responded by adding even more Cubist details to his plans, like this faceted door in the entranceway, the Cubist capitals on the columns, and the Cubist balcony railings. That was pretty bold to double down, and audacity worked. The Prague City Council finally approved this pioneering design. You can even see hints of the Eiffel Tower in this winding Cubist metal staircase that was put here only 20 years after the actual Eiffel Tower was constructed to dominate the Parisian skyline. It's really fun to go looking for the Paris in Prague in these sites and others we'd love to show you. People must have felt very sophisticated climbing these stairs in 1912 when the cafe's doors first opened. So how do you get from paintings to sofas? If you make it to Prague, you can see a lot more of these Czech Cubist furnishings in the Czech Cubism Museum on the house's second floor. So one question is why Gočár and a generation of Czech architects who put up Cubist buildings after him went so far beyond the French inspiration in the fine arts to create Cubist architecture. I mean, there were at first just Cubist painters who were making some of my favorite paintings, Double by Bohumil Kubistka, Antonín Procházka's Prometheus, or this amusing Cubist self-portrait by Josef Gočár, Mr. Myself. My explanation for the Czech obsession with Cubism is that the Czechs had already been looking to France for a century, not only for avant-garde art movements, but also for political inspiration. Don't forget that before World War I, France is pretty much alone in Europe as the unique democratic republic that's overthrown a monarchy. One way to understand Czech architectural Cubism is to connect it to the Czech admiration for the French political system and the French revolutionary example. So what do you think of this unique Czech achievement in architecture? Let us know in the comments.